When you think of competitive games, what do you think of? You think of esports, right? You know, watching two players or two different teams competing upon a stage to essentially go through a bracket and see whoever is the best team or individual player. Well, there is another pretty popular form of competing in games built around the idea of beating them as fast as possible. This is called speedrunning. Let's be honest here, you've probably already heard of speedrunning and have probably even watched or even made a run. But for me, I really wasn't interested in speedrunning, at least not until I found one specific game. A game called Neonwhite, a game built around the idea of beating it and its levels as quickly as possible.
This is a first-rate town, but all you ever notice are the ways it stretched too far. And it has been knocked down while some of us are still left here between the scars. But when you look around, all you ever notice is you cannot see the stars. This is a first-rate town, you know. You just can't see very far.
Oh my god! I beat it! Fuck you! Fuck you, Yetsu! Get fucked! But let's start a little bit with my background here so you can know my experience with speedrunning and esports a little bit before we get into why I kinda just accidentally became a speedrunner in this game. Kinda. Not quite, but almost. You see, I grew up in a household with a 7-year older brother. However, he was never big into speedrunning, and so whilst I was introduced to speedrunning by him, I never really felt for it either. I recall him showing me when I was a kid still a speedrun of GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 where they just beat a level at a time that people thought it was impossible, which I did think was really cool, but it didn't really captivate me. Whilst I've watched some speedrunning content here and there, such as some content by popular YouTubers SmallNet and PointCrow, it was never really something that drew me in. Esports, on the other hand, did. My brother was a Dota and Dota 2 player, and due to this I was introduced to esports, specifically Dota 2's esports scene at a young age. Hearing and seeing the stories surrounding decorated Dota 2 legends such as Dendi, Loda, No-Tail, Samil, Miracle, Thompson, and many more actually interested me a lot. Whilst I wasn't interested in competing at the time, esports did end up drawing me in during my teens, and I now compete and coach in a Valorant team. But then I saw something last year. I saw a stream where popular content creator AlphaRad played some Neonwhite whilst addressing a controversy surrounding someone in his friend group at the time. The game looked fun and intrigued me, but I never really watched it or played it until AlphaRad played it during Ludwig's Fast 50 stream. And I got hooked thanks to that stream. I bought the game almost instantly after watching his run, as I saw that the game was on sale thanks to Steam's summer sale, and with my friend buying the game at the same time, I think anyone who has played the game knows what happened next. But first, let me explain what Neonwhite is about. Neonwhite is a first-person shooter platformer where you can complete levels in different ways through the help of different weapons that are given to you in the shape of cards. These weapons also have a secondary effect if you discard them. A handgun can give you a second jump, an LMG can give you a bomb, and an SMG will give you a ground pound, and so on. These weapon cards allow you to beat the levels within the game in different ways, and on top of that, developers have also added different rewards in the form of medals depending on how quickly you beat the levels, and all levels have designed shortcuts in them to allow players to beat them faster. Regarding the game's story, it is certainly the game's weakest point, as it leans into many tropes and is not super interesting and really didn't catch my attention too much. The game is about a group of sinners who died and ended up in hell. However, they were all later on taken to heaven to fend off demons, and the best performing one of these sinners would receive a slot in heaven. Among these sinners is White, a man who has amnesia, leading him to having lost his memories of his life from before he died, and so as he traverses challenges fending off demons, he also ends up meeting old friends from his time alive. Throughout the game, we are introduced to many different enemies and levels within heaven as we clear out demons, so we can reach the goal and move on to the next level. The further you get into the game, the levels tend to get longer on their first run. However, as you finish one and see other people's times, you tend to realize that you can speed them up by quite a bit, making you go, how? And that tends to be the reaction as you beat a level for the first time, especially towards the end of the game. Now let's talk about the game's soundtrack, which is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. The soundtrack does a really good job at getting its players amped up and making players continuously just vibe to it whilst running through the game's levels, clearing them one by one, and at the end, if you don't have it on your playlist, I'd be surprised. This soundtrack, along with Porter Robinson's recently released album Smile, have been on repeat while I've been at work or even at home, and I am vibing to it. With the game's level design and soundtrack, along with the gameplay, it is hard to put down the game when needed, and making an, oh, I'll just play for 30 minutes turn into a solid 3-hour playtime. And the main thing that makes you as a player keep going back to the game is seeing your friends' times, because for some goddamn reason when you beat a level, the game goes, here's your friends' times, I hope you are happy. So you end up playing the game to beat your friends' times, and when you finally beat your friends' time, you're pretty satisfied until they beat your time again and you go, oh hell no, I'm better than you. I will do it faster. I don't care if it takes me 50 hours of repeating the same goddamn thing. I have a problem, help. And then when you finally beat your friend's time, they proceed to send you a message about how they beat yours. I think you know where that ends. And then at some point you go, oh no way you can beat this level much faster. Open up the global leaderboard to instant regret. With that being said, the game does a great job. Wait a second. God damn it, he had to beat my times again. I need to, I'll be right back. Alright, this will be the last one. On the last one. Sorry about that interruption. The game does a great job at making you want to be good at it, and at making you want to speedrun it, as it constantly shows you your friends' times, borderline shoving them in your face, going, hey, look at this, you little shit, you wanna be worse than them? You wanna be worse than some Finnish guy called Hietsu? Come on, play the game again. Beat him. This idea of comparing your times with your friends makes the game very competitive even if it isn't PvP, and it makes it almost unique. I have never before seen a game that makes me want to compete and beat out my friends' times as badly as Neon White makes me want to beat my friends' times, and so I really want to continue to try doing so. With that being said, I highly recommend this game, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you click the subscribe button, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With all of that being said, thank you for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day.